Hello. Do let me know if this is working, because I never know. I try to have something that tells me whether this is working or not, and I don't know. Maybe it's working, maybe it's not. Hello, Ian. This is working. Brilliant. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Uh, Hello. Haha. Hello. I've done some changes to my setup. Even though this frame that you're seeing, like around you here, is the naughty Linux stuff. I'm not currently using naughty Linux. Oh, it's not my favorite friend. I had a chat with Martin about it, and yeah, it's a bit too pre-alpha for me at the moment, and that will be fixed at some point. But right now, I'm back on my classic ThinkPad T450, which I'll show you here. Look at that, gorgeous. So this is my ThinkPad. It's running Ubuntu something, I guess. I don't know what it's running. Is it 2404? How do you do this? NeoFetch probably is installed. Yeah, there you go. 2404. Uh, it has got a bit of nicks on it. Yeah, this has been a reliable machine I've had for a while now, and sometimes it gets put away. Sometimes I dig it out again. But yeah, it's been a reliable little machine. Bottom left of my laptop screen. Oh, because I had Biobu in on, didn't I? Where was that? Was that in here? Yeah, 2404. Look at that. Isn't that clever? I've got another machine here. This one, which I'm SSH'd into, which is also 2404, but this one is slightly different because it's actually my M1 Mac. Um, so if you see Asimo on there, that's the MacBook Air. I don't know why I called it Asimo. Why did I call it Asimo? Because it was an Air. I thought the A would make sense. Like this one, unfortunately, this one's called Precise Pad, which is a bit useless, really. That's a rubbish host name. I should have given this some other name. Most of my computers are named after computers from science fiction. So I've had a HAL and Whopper and Hacktar, and so yeah. For the, I mean, I'm sure you all know where they came from. Hi Tim. Thanks for dropping by. Um, yeah, I've had a lot of. Oh, I should mute that. Um, I've had a lot of computers from science fiction, and yeah, Asimo. That's a robot, isn't it? That's not really science fiction. Yeah, yeah. I'm deviating. I keep having difficulty thinking of names of computers from science fiction. There's a Wikipedia page that's like a list of computers and robots from science fiction, and that's my reference. That's where I go to get names for computers. And sometimes I'm in a hurry and I just think, I'll just call it Precise Pad. So I can't remember when I installed this thing, but it was a while ago. Anyway, I've got some stuff to do, and I thought I'd just make sure that this live stream stuff all works. One of the things is I've got some snaps that need updating. Um, I've got my little thing that runs every hour at half past the hour. It's just a little cron job that just tells me um, when there's some updated upstream stuff. So, for example, there's a few here that need doing. Default needs doing. I'll open that in a new tab. Did that go into a new tab? Yeah, there it is. So, yeah, default. There's a newer version of that. And if we go into the store page, you can see. Oh, go away. I don't need the tool. If we go and look at builds, when was the last time it built? Oh, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to sign into. I I started a thread on the forum about this. So I've got a repo on GitHub, right? And in there, it defines how this snap gets built. And whenever I come in here, that thing you just saw where it said login to GitHub, that always comes up. And it should just remember that. I shouldn't have to keep connecting Snapcraft's build service to uh, GitHub repeatedly. So I started a thread on the forum. I don't know if anyone's replied. I'll go and have a look in a bit. But for now, yeah, this default snap This is just like basic configuration that just builds the upstream thing. And if I just hit trigger build, in theory, that should just build a new version. So I'll leave that chugging away because that's, I can just leave that. And it only takes half an hour to build mostly, although sometimes 4 minutes. Wow. Why? Wow. Oh, I wonder if that's just because it's delayed for some reason. But yeah, usually 4 or 5 minutes, and then the last three times, half an hour. Interesting. No idea why. Uh, so, and notice the git commit hasn't changed because what my config does is just go and grabs the latest build and stuffs it into a snap. So what else we got? Um, default is one. I should automate that one. Like, and it should build automatically. Like this whole thing that I've got here, it used to be that this would just automatically do a build. Like ages ago, it would just build, and that would be it. And I'd go and check the version that had been built, and if it works, then yay, we publish it. Let me get rid of that. I don't need that open. But it doesn't anymore. Anyway, Grummage, that's one of mine. That I don't care about that right now. That's fine. Halloy. Halloy is, I can't say hello without doing it in an Australian accent. That's a bit behind, isn't it? 25.9, 25.11. But notice it's already built in the Edge channel. So it's already built. I just need to make sure it works. I'm sure it works. Like, let's just jump to Halloy. And Halloy is an IRC client written in Rust. Amazing, I know. And you can see that a build was done at some point recently. 9 days ago. Oh, golly. So if I jump to my terminal on my trusty ThinkPad and do snap info Halloy, probably. Oh, I'm running a local build. That's why my machine hasn't updated. So if I do sudo snap refresh Halloy edge amend to tell it to go and get the, I typed that, oh, I did take it out, right, to get the version from the store, then it should install the latest version 25.11. And if it does, then, and it works, then we should be able to release that. I really want to automate a lot more of this. It's like semi-automated. There's still a human in the loop. They've automated some stuff in the Snapcrafters repo where it runs stuff, takes screenshots, and puts it in a GitHub issue, and then all a respected person has to do is say yes, that works, and then it's released. So yeah, maybe I should do something like that, but it's low priority because there's not so many of these snaps. I mean, there are a lot, like there's a lot, but hey ho. So what was I doing? I was testing Halloy. So if I just do, well, I could probably just launch it. There you go, Halloy. Oh, look at that. It works. And I think I've got it configured. Select buffer. Let's connect to OFTC. Ooh. Oh, look at that. Yeah, that's all working. Lovely jubbly. Oh, look, there's the Asahi channel. So yeah. Oh, wow. This has been updated. This is rather nice. Renders images in here and stuff. Oh, that's beautiful. This is really nice. Halloy is a really nice IRC client. Marius says, not reading Twitch chat, are we? Well, it's funny you should say that. I should mention, sorry, I got distracted here. I'll come back to that, Marius. Right, so this is working, like, good enough for government work. Boom. And then I can go back to here and go to releases. You can release on the command line. I can never remember the syntax for that. It's like, I can't remember. You can release, but it's easier to just go bop, release the stable, and say, am I sure? And interestingly, here you can say whether you want to like phase the updates. Like I could say only a small set of devices could get the updates, which is quite cool that you can control that. but I'm just going to go, no, everyone gets it. And so everyone, all of the many, I don't know how many people have it installed, um, will suddenly get the new version. Should we see how many people have got it installed? Zero. That's not true. There's a job that runs on the Canonical backend on a regular basis, and it updates these metrics. And look, this is how long I've been maintaining this thing. How long? At least 2 years. It's got to be longer than that. Look at that. Isn't that mad? I don't know why there was a spike of installs of Halloy there. Golly, back in mid 24. Crikey. So yeah, I'd say there's probably about, I don't know, 300-400 people with it installed. 410 with that version. There you go. And you can see what channel people are installing. That's kind of interesting because, like, most of the time you can see that blue area is stable, and a few people are either adventurous or impatient and run the Edge channel. That's probably one of my machines. Is probably one of those. And you can also see what OS people are using with this installed, or what machines have. It's like, I would imagine that orange blob there is in the middle is probably an LTS, and probably that's the previous LTS. Let's have a look. Right, orange is, yes, 2404, and the purple one is 2204. And then the darker purple, which is that one, I think, is 2504. So there's a bunch of people upgrade. So yeah, interesting to see, the different releases. Anyway, back to the question that Marius asked. So I'll close Halloy. Don't need that because that's now on the latest. Good. Got that done. Chat. Yes. Let me just go to Popey Chat. Yeah, what I should do is this. I should have this open somewhere. And what I will do is on another machine, the machine that's doing the streaming, I will do exactly that. I'm going to start popey.com. You can't see this because it's on another display. .com/chat. There you go. So now I can see everyone's chat, I think, maybe. Accept cookies and all that. No, I can't because it's only showing me stuff that arrives after. Oh, yeah, I can now see that in here, so that's good. Wicked. So yeah, I fixed that problem. Thank you. And it should all show in there as well, which is quite good. That's /live, popey.com/live, popey.com/chat is where you can see the stuff. So that's good. Where were we? We did Halloy. Let's now say Halloy to the people in the chat. Something just dinked out a moment there. What happened there? Why is my screen gone black? I moved my stool that I'm sat on, and everything went off for a moment. Hopefully it recovers. Yeah, that went a bit weird. Are you all still there? Please tell me in the chat if you're still there. Well, I can test it myself, can't I? I can go popey.com. So it's live. It says it dropped frames 685. Yeah, you broke the stream with your excitement. Welcome back. Thank you very much. Yes, okay, so it is still fine. Golly. It's all very, like, tenuously hooked together here. Right, so any questions in that Yara chat? Marius says... Sorry, I'll rewind. Marius first said, not reading Twitch chat, are we? Well, I am now. Timo says, started with Linux since 2014, Ubuntu 14.04. Oh gosh, yeah. 14.04 was a good release. There are some releases that are good. 10.04, 12.04, 14.04, they're all pretty good. And hello, Graham at desk on Twitch. Now, the Owncast chat is broken, and I only discovered that just now, and I don't know why it's broken. Like, if I go to owncast.popey.com, it says chat is offline, but it's configured to say it'll be available when the chat is live. And I don't know, it was live, something broke. I don't know what, but that's not what I'm here to chat about. Marius says snaps do build automatically, but only if a new commit tag or release is detected. I've never got them to automatically build periodically. Yeah, so some of my repos have a job in them. In fact, what was the one that updated most recently? I had an issue filed against one of them because the snap was outdated, and because the repos are pretty static, I don't have to maintain. I don't have to do anything. GitHub disables the GitHub actions if I don't do anything. If I don't actually contribute to those projects, they all get disabled. So if I show you on my GitHub, can you view only? What was the one I most recently did? What was it? Oh, it was Twine. Yeah. So Twine.js is a interactive fiction creator. Hello, Daniel, on Twitch. Nice to see you. This is an interactive fiction thing, and I have a GitHub action workflow, whatever you want to call it, called sync version with upstream. This thing that just goes and finds out what the latest version upstream is, and I have this set to go at 10 a.m. every day. But because I don't contribute to this repo, the action keeps getting disabled, and so I like here it is running. But you can see I manually ran it on the 6th of November and it hadn't run since April the 25th. So yeah, that's not good. And so someone filed an issue against this and said, hey, yo, no rush, but could you re-enable it? And I thought, oh gosh, whoopsie. And so I have to come in here and press a button and say, re-enable. Oh, sorry, I didn't realize you can't see that it says April down there. But yeah, April, November. Yeah, so that's a bit of a pain. I need a better way to do this. Suggestions welcome. It might be that what's better is if I have a central repo called Popey Snaps or something, and that has an action in it, and that just goes off to each of my repos and does something like checks them or have a central thing, because this is all a bit held together with duct tape and twine, as they say in America. Anyway, I fixed that, and this now built, and I got a new release of Twine.js out, so that's okay. And so that's why the Twine.js one is up to date. So we've done Halloy, and at past, in like 1 minute, this page will get updated, and that will change. What else? MAME. Ooh, MAME. There's a new version of MAME. Okay, now I've already got the latest version of MAME in the Edge channel, so we could. Have I skipped a couple? No, I haven't skipped Alloy. I did that one. MAME. Boom, boom. I need better screenshots than these. These are just like games that I like playing, and so that's why they're on here. Salamander. Yeah, that's not Salamander 2, is it? That's the first Salamander. Yeah, Salamander, and then obviously R-Type and R-Type 2 and Bombjack. Which every time I mention Bombjack, Martin assures me he is the best at Bombjack. Well, he doesn't need to assure me because he has beaten me at Bombjack, so I do know that is the case. Hello, Steve, as well. Steve's very own. Do you know what? I really should get going on something else that's on the list. Let me just over here. This is the MacBook Air that sat next to me. This is the one that's running. Oh no, it's not. That's not it. That's the MacBook Air. Right. I need to update Telegram because I have a Telegram Asahi. Let me start it building. I'll come back to main because I know Telegram needs doing it. It takes a long time, so I'm going to start it. You'll notice Telegram Asahi is 613 and the version upstream is 624. So this needs updating. Now, this is an unofficial build of Telegram, and it's only for people using Linux on Macs with Asahi. Long story, let me get it started, right? So we've got 613 that was updated about a month or so ago. I need to change that to, what was the version, the new version? 624, right. So let's go to the terminal. And the way I do this is wild. I actually build it on this MacBook Air that sat next to me on the desk. I know, that's madness. And I've got it with build script. Build Telegram Asahi. What did we say it was? 6.2.4. And it clones the repo and then does a few changes, ninjas a few files in order to make it build and work on Linux on ARM64 on Asahi. Um, and then what you end up with is in this T desktop folder. That's where the source is. And when I do build, it will start building. And away it goes. So it's going to patch it all and then start building using LexD, Snapcraft using LexD. And what's going to happen is the poor little CPU, let me make this a bit smaller. So this is the CPU utilization on the MacBook Air that's next to me on the desk. Now, the nice thing is, this MacBook Air is 5 years old now, I think. 5 years when the M1 MacBook Air came out. It's only an M1. It's the first generation. It's running Asahi, and it is really amazing. I love this little device. It's so good. I mean, as you can see, it's only got 8 cores, and they're going to get pegged very soon once it starts building, because Telegram builds like the entire world, and puts it inside the Snap. Anyway, that's that one. We'll leave that one running, and go back to the chat, because I had MAME, didn't I? And I wanted to update this. So let's just go to this machine. Now we've done Halloy. Now we can do snap info MAME. MAME is 282 is the latest. So if I do snap refresh MAME, what channel am I tracking? I'm tracking latest stable. Oh, so I want to do sudo snap refresh MAME edge. And what that'll do is update me to the latest one that's in the Edge channel that was built 7 days ago. And we'll see what that does. Hello, Phil Clifford. Nice to see you. How are you doing? What else in the chat? You broke the stream with your excellent excitement. Yes, I did. Sean. Hello, Sean. Hello, Big Pod. Nice to see you. Tim says, love Ubuntu because that's where I started with Linux. Did everyone start with Ubuntu? Where did everyone else start with? Like, tell me now. Where did you start with? I started with, I think, something, maybe Caldera Linux. I think it was on a CD in a book. And at the time, that would have been 1996, I think. It was a book all about Linux. And I didn't read the book. I just got the CD out the book and installed it on. I had 2 computers at the time. One of them was, actually, I could find you a photo of both the machines because I'm weird like that. I've got a blog post, keyboards. Where is it? Oh, look at that. Keyboards are new. Right, in this blog post, there is a photo. There it is. So this is a cat, yes. Twiglet. Twiglet the cat. And yes, it's like classic stuff. I still have that keyboard. Oh, this is just like, there's so much in here that it just blows my mind. There's like 2 Palm Pilots. There's a mouse, a 3-button serial mouse, a PS2 Microsoft mouse. But down here at the very bottom of the picture, there are 2 computers. With like, lids off, really a bit of a mess. I've got more photos of these, but this was in the spare bedroom, the second bedroom in mine and Claire's first place we lived together. We rented, and so that dates this picture to we moved in '98, I think, August '98 or something like that. So this is sometime in 1998 when we got the cats. First got the cats. And I'm pretty sure one of those 2 computers, the one on the right hand side, is a Pentium P200, and the one on the left is a 400 megahertz Pentium something. And the one on the left, I think, is running Windows 98 or 95 or something like. Well, it wouldn't be 98, would it? It might be. Yeah, it probably would be. Like, if anyone wants to try and figure out what that OS is, probably 98, I would imagine. And the one next to it, I think, is the one I donated to using Linux, and that is the Pentium P200. And I remember buying that, Um, and yeah, that one I built. The one on the right, the Pentium 200, I bought as a desktop computer, beige desktop computer, and that one I built from scratch, buying all the parts. It had one of those slot Pentium CPUs, like the slot loader thing. The CPU was on a cartridge in the motherboard. Yeah, look, all those desks, like those slots for CDs, completely empty, and I had this giant thing full of CDs. I found that the other day, and it's got backups from this computer on it of like music, software, copies of MAME, and like all kinds of other nonsense. I still have that stapler as well. That stapler, yeah, I still have that stapler and nothing else in the well, and the keyboard, yeah, and the stapler. That's it. Anyway, moving on. MAME. It should have downloaded now. It has. Now, have I got any MAME ROMs on here? Well, let's just MAME. Pop. Well, look at that. Isn't that marvelous? I don't think I actually have any games installed on here. Any ROMs anywhere? No, I don't. So I can't really thoroughly test this, but this is a good enough test for me. Um, yeah. Have I got any ROMs anywhere? Tilda ROMs. Have I got ROMs? No, I haven't. I got any in ROMs? Oh, I do. Uh, how do you specify the location of your ROMs? It says there, snap main common main.ini. Um, snap main common main. Oh, there isn't a main.ini. Oh. Just make ROMs a symlink to every ROMs. Okay, I'm just going to make it easier. Just going to copy them from sync ROMs star.zip to ROMs. I'm just going to do that. When I do main, does it find them now? It does. Oh my gosh, look at that. Look, that is one of the ROMs. Ha! Well, this works. Uh, right, you've lost me now. That's it. I was just going to sit and play Bomb Jack. Uh, so, I asked the question. Marius has a good question, which is what's the reason again why those Asahi builds have to be different than other ARM builds? Kernel page size is the answer, I think. Is so yeah, kernel page size on Asahi is different from bog standard Linux builds. And I don't know why. But that's a choice that they made when they made Asahi. That's or for compatibility with macOS on disk or something. I don't know. Blah blah blah. There's a lot. Like look at kernel page size issues on the Asahi project, and you'll find it. And so I have to build on a Mac because I like. There's no way to really emulate a different kernel page size on an ARM machine, right? That's maybe it's possible. Maybe it's possible for me to create a VM on my Mac OS Mac, like my work Mac, and in that VM run um, a version of Linux, but it wouldn't be Asahi because there is no Asahi build for like generic VMs. It's it's a bit of a workaround. Yeah, Ian did mention page size. Yeah, Marius got 1110 when he was 16. Oh, shut up! You're too young. Uh, Ian had RHEL 4 or 5, Red Hat 4 or 5, then SUSE, then Gentoo, then Ubuntu. Yeah, I went Caldera. I didn't last long. Red Hat, and I used Red Hat until Fedora. The first Fedora came out, I think, and I switched to Debian. And Hugo Mills from the Hampshire Linux user group was the person who told me, "Hey, you should try Debian." And I tried Debian, and it was great. Um, and then he was the one who told me in 2004 about Ubuntu because I was having trouble with Debian. There was a webcam, Philips 2 cam, uh, Philips two two cam. Uh, Yeah, there we go. I had one of them. uh, Philips webcams, and the driver was called PWC, Philips Webcam, and there was something in it that made the Debian developers say, dodgy license, can't ship this in Debian. And every time I updated my Debian machine, my webcam would break, and so I'd have to recompile the kernel in order to recompile the PWC driver, or I'd have to recompile the PWC driver, and I hated that. And then Hugo said to me one day, "Hey, this Ubuntu thing, they seem to be a bit more slack with their license compliance. So, the PWC driver is there." And that was it. Switched to Ubuntu. Done. That's all it took is a webcam driver. Everyone's got their own like reason for switching, whether it's like usability, documentation, or, packaging or whatever it is. And mine was my stupid webcam didn't work. I think I've still got that webcam somewhere. Yeah, it's it's a weird old thing with a little. I think the idea was it could sit on a desk, but it could also hook over the top of your laptop. That was the idea, because at the time they didn't have webcams. So anyway, are we certain that this is? Have I got any audio here? Are you hearing this? Oh gosh, that's not. Is that? Ah, there we go. I don't know if you can hear this. No, there's no captured audio from this. Sorry. Oh, maybe the capture card. No, the capture card doesn't seem to have audio. Come on. Oh, wait, there's no audio yet. It's only when you put coins in, isn't it? Oh, five. Yeah, I'm not getting any audio out. It must be going somewhere. No game audio for you. Okay, sorry about that. Well, anyway, don't make me sing. Yeah, this is working. Right. Yeah, that's enough. That's a good enough test. Oh, man. Don't make me play with it. I'll type. I'll type Leo. Oh, I haven't got the ROMs. Oh, well. Salamander 2 was also great. These are great games. This is doing output over um, HDMI, but this T450 doesn't have HDMI. It's got DisplayPort. Does audio go over DisplayPort? I don't know. Um, so me and my mate Dave used to play this in after going swimming at the local leisure centre in Farnborough, and they had this in there for a while. There's always like two or three arcade machines, and it's got some speech in this game. This particular weapon is called the Ripple Laser. Like every time we would play it, you'd hear it go Ripple Laser. Um, yeah, in a voice very much like that, Ripple Laser. And they also had Gauntlet. They were big into games with speech in. They had Gauntlet in Farnborough Leisure Centre. What game did you play in a leisure centre after going swimming? I think it's one of those rites of passage that teenagers in the UK used to do in the 80s and 90s, is play video games um, after going to the gym. Anyway, that works. So we can release that, I think. That's good enough. That's all the testing I do because, you know, I assume some testing has been done upstream. And as long as the thing still runs, then we should be good. Done. How many users of MAME are there on this? I mean, not a lot, probably. Oh my god, 4,000. Holy cow. Uh, I've been maintaining this snap for a very long time. I think the graph will time out and not show if I put 5 years, but it's certainly been more than 5 years that I have been maintaining this snap. It's up and downy. Um, so yeah, most users of this are on 2404, but that's the case for basically every snap is a load. Um, Someone says Palm Pilot in the Twitch chat. Yes, Palm Pilot, PDA, personal before mobile phones. They carry around these little like things that had apps. They were brilliant. Daniel started on 704. Housemate showed him, had a very difficult time explaining to me what a desktop environment was. Played with a live ISO on and off and committed in 2008 due to issues with Windows Vista. And also because I could get access to a bunch of compilers which helped me with my programming coursework and hobbies. Yes, yes, that's true. It's very good. Having access to all those like software development tools is really quite good. Right, so MAME is done. Telegram, that's going to take a while. Um, where is Telegram? Over here. Right, it's now pulling. Is it pulling? Is it finished pulling? I think it's probably finished pulling. I reckon if we look at the. No, it's still doing Git stuff. So yeah, it takes a while, even just pulling all the code. So this is going to be sat there for a long while. I think. Hey, there we go. It's chugging away, and the poor little thing's going to get a bit warm. Have we got temperature sensors? Oh, we have. Yeah, 30 degrees. It says there. I don't believe that for a second. But yeah, this will chug away, and I'll just leave it there. And eventually, when it finishes, well, I will get a snap file in that directory. And what I tend to do is install it on the machine, run it, make sure that it works. And if it works, then I publish it to the store. So if you look in here, if I go Snapcraft, no, Snap Info, Telegram Asahi, you can see 613 is in the candidate channel. What I tend to do is put it in the candidate channel and then refresh my machine. So that way I'm pushing it to the store and then getting it myself. There's not a lot of people who use this snap. It's really like it's for my own convenience, but I'm sure there are a few people who use it. Um, yeah. Sean says their first full-time distro was Mandrake in '99. Yeah, there's loads of people I hear, especially Europeans, who use Mandrake, Mandriva, and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's not a lot of users, like less than 100 people who use this. And again, this is another one that I've been maintaining for a while, years. Yeah. Well, basically, since I got this M1 and put macOS, I can tell you when it was. It was just after the Latvia Ubuntu summit because that's where I ran the script to install Asahi and then discovered the problem. So yeah, whenever the Latvian Ubuntu summit was, which was probably around about November 2023, and then I installed and so you'll notice if you look at the OS, you know all that snaps are only on Ubuntu. Wrong. Look at that. This is a good example of. Well, look at the one at the top. It's actually Debian, Fedora. Huh, fancy that. Uh, I suspect because nobody else is maintaining a build of Telegram and ain't nobody got time to build it themselves. So they're using this. So yeah, there we go. Is this thing still on? I hope so. I'm just boring everyone to death, probably. That's all it is. Yes. So that's MAME done. Telegram doing. This page has probably got a refresh now. If I refresh it, yes, 4:30. I'm gonna have to leave in a few minutes. Big pod TLDR first, and this was Ubuntu 10.04. CentOS. Oh wow. Right. So now default is still building. I think builds for default in progress. Yep. And MAME is done, but this page hasn't refreshed since then. Notepad next. Oh, I desperately need to look at that one. That's what I need to look at later. There's some others down here. Twine.js. Oh, there's another update. 2.11.1. Oh my gosh. Why is that one not updated? When was that? So Twine.js is 2.11.0, and I talked earlier about the fact that the thing didn't update. Let's open the repo. Released 2 days ago. Oh, so it's only 2 days ago. Okay. And then 2.11.0 2 days ago. When did the Um, when did the latest Twine.js come out? Uh, to released on 8th of November. Today. I don't feel bad about that. That's not a problem. So that must have come out sometime between. In fact, if I go back one, that is the repo. What's the date and time on the release? 36 minutes ago. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Right. So I need to run that GitHub action manually to force it to update. So if we go to update and I hit the button, run workflow, go. So that's now going to just find the upstream version has changed to 11.1. And there we go. It bumps the version in here. Now, in theory, what that means is in here, this should just automatically start building. Because the repo has been changed and there should be like a webhook, but it doesn't. So I have to go like that. So now Twinery is going to, sorry, Twine, it's actually just called Twine, is going to update, and I can check that one a little bit later. So that's good. That's another one done. Easy peasy. Libation 12.7. Right, I'm gonna have to leave in 2 minutes, so let's see if we can get libation done. Now, libation, for those who don't know, is a marvelous tool that lets you download your audiobooks from Audible, and you'll see here the latest release is whatever build that was. What did it say? 12.7 was it? Yeah, 12.7. So that was released 1 day ago, and that's probably in the Edge channel. So I should be able to, on this laptop here, go snap info libation, see what I've got installed. I don't have it installed at all. So we go snap install, sudo snap install libation Edge. Oh, I need 2 dashes for that. And so libation, you log in with your Audible account and password, and then it presents you. You can see it in the screenshot actually. It shows you, all your books, and you just press these buttons here, and it just queues them all up for download. It's really rather smart. I love it. And if you want to have a copy of the stuff that you've bought on Audible, then that's a good tool. Yeah, I should sudo snap login. So now, if I run libation, there it is. There we go. Now, first time using libation. I am not going to set this up right now. I'm going to do that later. So I'm just going to close this, hopefully. Okay. Initial setup cancelled. Okay. I'll do that later. Because I need to drop off because I've got to go and get Sam from work. Cheerio, Daniel. Tim says, looking forward to 2604. Gosh, 26. Oh my gosh, that's next year, isn't it? Oh man, that's not far away. Well, I'm going to go and get Sam and probably come back and maybe do a little bit more of this stuff because this is good fun and I can finish off a bit of stuff. And maybe by then, in like an hour, this thing will have finished. It's still pulling. It still hasn't even started building yet. This takes a while, but we shall see. Yeah, I will sudo snap login. That's a very good point. I might as well. No, I'm not gonna bother because I've got a password and 2-factor auth and all that nonsense. I'll do that later. Right. Thanks for joining me. Tim says also used MX and Antics. Gosh. I'll try and sort out my audio and try and figure out why moving my chair makes my video capture card crash. That's weird. I'll be around probably a bit later, and I'll see you then. Thanks everyone for dropping by and helping me test this nonsense, and watch me type commands and visit web pages. It's all very good. I'll see you all later. I hope you have a really good evening if I don't see you before. And yeah, cheerio, bye bye, toodle pip, and all that. Now I've got to do that awkward bit, you know, when you walk away from someone and go bye, and then you end up walking in the same direction as them. I've got to do that as I try and find my stop streaming button. I'll tell you what I need to do. I need to get my stream thing. What's it called? Stream Deck. Yeah. Get that set up so I can just press a button and switch on and off and stuff. Anyway,